As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be.
Oh man, it's 8 o'clock.
And so that'll make it a.
I don't need the spotlight. I shine just fine.
Hi, I'm Karma, and yes, I am a bitch.
Brav Bros. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Brav Bros, your favorite podcast from the bros for everybody, for whoever wants to listen. I am your co-host, Steele Russell, joined as always by the one and only Elder Magoots. What's up, dude?
Starting to feel like a bit of a heathen.
Yeah, me too.
Every time that they talk about things they can't do and why it makes you stray away from God, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Right there. Actually, no, they can curse because they do curse.
They do curse, and I would say I agree with you, except for the fact that they are all massive hypocrites.
Mm-hmm.
What is holy and what is not makes no sense to me. It seems to be they get to like point and click as to what they need to follow, but hey, we'll talk about that as we get into this. That might be more for the next episode.
Yeah, no, I think it would be pretty cool to be able to just be a complete asshole to people and be like, nah, I'm close to the church.
And you claim religion.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's almost like the worst people in the world lean on religion.
Also, like, Jesus turned water into wine.
Oh, this argument? This old,
this old
chestnut?
All you can do is drink soda? What is coffee? Pour coffee.
That's my favorite argument in the world.
Yeah.
When people bring that up, well, Jesus turned his water into wine. I'm like, yeah.
Sure.
It's a great point.
Really, what was he doing that for? To party.
Yeah, exactly.
To party.
Hopefully, I don't even know where I'm going with that.
No.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, this is why
I'm
we're
pissed off about the coffee thing, honestly.
It doesn't make sense to me,
I love
especially
coffee.
when you swap it out with soda. Like, that's my whole thing. If you're going to swap that, I think we're like 2 episodes ahead now, but if you're going to swap out coffee with soda, like, that makes no sense to me. Your body's a temple unless you want to use other shit. Like, God forbid.
I bet that, you know what it probably is? This is realistic. I bet that coffee was coming in from like Mexico or South America, and Joseph Smith was like,
No shot.
Not clean enough.
Yeah, no shot. Because they had ridiculous embargoes on a lot of things back in the day. They didn't allow black people into the church until like the 70s or 80s. So yeah, I mean, the picking and choosing of this religion is interesting. And look, as you know, I am not one to tell anyone who and what to follow. I believe that you should believe in what you want to believe in. I just always think it's interesting to dissect any religion. It's always fascinating to me, especially, I say it all the time, this religion is so fascinating.
Yeah.
But welcome back. If you couldn't tell, we're here to talk about Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. We are doing 2 episodes today. So this one is episode 2, but don't you worry because you're getting 2 episodes in the same day because we're about to do episode 3 right after this. What's your thoughts? We're getting into it now. We're like almost in the middle of the season.
I mean, we started to point it out a little bit yesterday. It is so Bravo coded, just like perfectly Bravo coded, where each scene breaks down and then you get a little landscape and the music, and it's just like, okay, this is basically we're watching Bravo, so it's very easy for us. But more than anything, it's a super easy watch. It is a very easy, and I said it last night, there's no other way to put it, it's good trash TV.
It is. Like, it's easy to watch. It's crazy. The drama is so palpable. It's like something we haven't seen this level of shit going on episode to episode. And maybe that's what you get when they space them out like they have. When you do have these big gaps in between, because there definitely was another gap in between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
It wasn't as big of a gap, but it's still, there's definitely larger gaps in between these episodes.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on exactly, but one thing that I kind of came to the realization of is when you put this show in particular against a Bravo show, the stakes are actually higher for these girls. So they are, unless you're Whitney, who you really don't give a shit because you feel like you're an OG and you're leading the group of MomTok.
That
the rest of them,
piece of shit. I have so much to say about her.
Oh yeah, I know. But the rest of these girls that are on, the outskirts that are just getting into all of this, they're afraid to step in the wrong direction because you could be out and then all of a sudden you're not the breadwinner of your house.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So you know what I mean? So like, so they're a little afraid to go against unless you're, as we'll see in episode 3 with like Jesse and Demi. But to me, I just can't do it.
Think demure. Demi.
Wow, you are on the internet
Very demure.
Good for you.
Very
Good for
cutesy.
you. Yeah, I guess that one was kind of hard to avoid, actually.
Yeah, it was
But,
going to happen eventually.
But yeah, no, and I like it when the stakes are a little higher. It makes people do crazy things.
It does, as we're seeing play out episode by episode. It's just my biggest focus now, because I get locked into certain things.
Fixation.
Fixated on the hypocrisy.
Yep.
Without a doubt. Like, that's my number one thing, because you see it from character to character. Everyone picks and chooses when they want to be holy. Everyone picks and chooses what pisses them off. Everyone picks and chooses why their thing is not as bad as this thing. And it's fascinating. Like, it's so funny to watch these women move the way that they are. And of course, like, no surprise to you, and you're probably on my team as well, I'm hanging out with the sinners. I'm not hanging out with the saints. They're
I want to go
assholes.
bowling on Sabbath day.
Yeah, I don't want to go stand around and watch a bunch of dudes like circle up in a circle to bless the kid, but all the women, you stay on the couch.
Yeah.
You stay over there. We're going to bless this baby.
Still episode 3, yeah.
Yeah, we're jumping too far ahead.
It's tough.
Yeah, it is hard, but you know what? We're trying our best here.
We are.
But let's get into this episode before we keep talking about episode 3 too much. And I think it's really cool that you're doing prop work in regards to soda.
Yeah.
Shooter's drinking an ice cold Coca-Cola Zero Sugar.
Coke Zero. Yeah.
Zero sugar right now.
Should put it out
Is
there.
it Coke Zero or is it Coca-Cola Zero Sugar now? I thought they changed it.
Yeah, I'm still going to call it Coke Zero. It's like
Okay.
X versus Twitter.
It's always Twitter.
Yeah.
It's forever and always.
Always
Yeah.
going to be Twitter.
X can suck my butt. But anyway, episode 2, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, we pick up what we have deduced to be 6 to 7 months after episode 1.
Yep.
That's the best we can do. If you can do better, please reach out and let us know, because timelines drive us nuts. Somebody mentioned in the comments flowcharts. Have yet to receive a flowchart from any of you. It's a little upsetting.
We get a lot of emails about people breaking things down.
Yeah.
Include a flowchart.
If you added a flowchart in there, we would be so happy. You would be our favorite listener.
You would.
Yeah. Come on.
That top spot is still up for grabs.
Yeah, we're still waiting for somebody to step up. Los had it for a while, but then he didn't show up to our
Did
shows.
he, though? Did he have it?
No, I guess he never secured it.
It's like a
because
heel.
He was close. If he had showed up, like he said he was going to show up to, 3 of our shows? And then he claims he was at the one in L.A., but we didn't see him.
He's too scared to talk to us.
Yeah, fuck that. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, yes, point being, that spot's still up for grabs. But we pick up where we left off 6 months prior, and Taylor is letting us know what happened. She was arrested that night for aggravated assault. She is now, super pregnant. 6 months, 7 months pregnant, it looks like. And she ended up staying with Dakota. Her punishment was 3 years probation.
Yep.
Correct? Okay. So, obviously, this is going to throw a wrench into the group, which is ironic considering she was trying to bring the group back together, and then that whole shit show
You would
happened.
imagine that it would actually be better for the group because she's not drinking.
That's what I would think.
She'll be more on their level.
I guess to me, why I was confused about the reception of her was it's been 6 months. I understand she keeps throwing shit at MomTok and it's making it difficult, but I don't know. She's doing her penance. She got charged. She's trying to get her shit together. Seemingly, I'm not sure how well it's going. She's still with Dakota. This big bag of shit.
Yeah,
but-
so she goes from, and as we saw in the preview for the season at the end of episode 1, she goes from pregnant to miscarriage to pregnant again.
Mhm.
Throw in a little domestic violence in there as well. And she
Just a sprinkle of domestic
it's just a
violence.
little sprinkle. She stayed with Dakota, and at the time when she had the quote unquote pregnancy scare, she didn't know how to handle it.
Mhm.
Everybody was all saying, no, don't do this. Hopefully you're not pregnant at the end of the day. And she ends up being pregnant anyway.
Yes.
So they're idiots.
Yeah.
Is what I'm gathering. Or they wanted to do this from day one and they went back and tried again.
Well, what we start to see in this next scene, which is all the other girls talking about her situation and about all we're focused on, and we don't really dive into actual mom talk nearly enough, I think is one of my bigger problems with the show is
Yeah.
they reference it a lot.
They do a lot of cutscenes where they show the
Like a
TikToks on
very
3
quick-
screens.
Yes,
Yeah.
but we don't get the actual breakdown of
But,
the situation. I need to know where it stands. Are they still pumping out content? Are they still getting brand deals? I loved this episode, the breakdown of the brand deals. I thought was
Yeah,
interesting.
no, and they are. I don't know where they are now, but at this time in the show, they are still getting brand deals.
They're
They are
starting
still
to get them again.
Yeah, and they're starting to put out content, or again, I guess, because we were introduced to the content content house in the first episode, which is always such a funny concept to me. But look, I can tell you right now, it is Mormon moms doing TikTok dances.
Yes.
Do we need to know more
No,
about that?
not what they're
What do you want?
doing, like the state of it. Is it going well? Is the culture of MomTok actually changing? They reference it all the time, but
I
they
think
don't.
that's the overhang for the entire show.
Well,
Is
fuck.
MomTok going to survive this?
I know it is. That's my favorite line. I just want to know, like, we should get updates on the culture's changing or people are responding to this. We're getting more followers. We're losing followers. I want updates. I want analytics.
I imagine where it went is they were doing increasingly well, and then the swingers thing put them over the edge where they got a lot more followers.
Yep.
And then I'm sure a lot of those followers just kind of like checked out after that.
Boop, boop, boop.
So,
I don't know.
they're probably leveling out.
I'd be curious, but that's my point. I would.
I'm
like
telling
to know
you.
that. I don't. You have no bearing.
Why not?
This is just you talking.
Yeah, I'm
I
probably
could do
right.
that too. Okay. But anyway, the whole group, the entire concern, as you'll see in every episode, is the culture of MomTok, keeping MomTok what it's supposed to be so that they could all make their money, and they wanted to represent what they represent, which is, again, ironic, but they're all just sitting there pretty much shitting on Taylor, and not, I don't know if they all are. I feel like this is the first time you see, and you're definitely going to see it more as the season progresses, Whitney has an HBIC problem.
Yeah.
She needs to be in charge of MomTok. She wants to be the number one man in the group, the number one guy in the group. I said that wrong. The Jax Taylor. Like, that's her whole focus, and she wants to get Taylor completely out, because the last time that we've seen these two talk, granted it was 6 months prior, was Whitney going into it with the idea of, we need to make up for MomTok. Taylor, you and I need to come together because we are the leaders.
Mm-hmm.
Something has happened in the in-between time, and I don't know if it was actually, I do know what it was, because Whitney talks about it in the next episode, I think, which, if that was the straw that broke the camel's back, it's the funniest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And we'll save that for the next episode. But it just feels like a power struggle, a one-sided power struggle, because Taylor doesn't seem to have that much stock in it at the moment. But Whitney is consumed by the fact that she wants to be in charge of MomTok.
Yeah, I mean, they're having these secret meetings away from Taylor.
Yep.
And they're doing it at the content house while pumping out content.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what more Whitney needs.
I don't know.
Taylor's not there. She's not putting up content with you guys.
Maybe a crown.
Maybe a crown.
Or a shirt, a t-shirt.
But it almost looked like she was offended that they were even having that conversation about, we need somebody to step up as the leader. Why do we need somebody
right
to
here.
step up as the leader? Do we need a leader?
Yeah.
I guess.
You need somebody that's, pointing them, I guess.
Hey, we're going to do this dance?
Yeah.
Ugh.
I don't know. But moving on, we get Taylor and her mom, and they're shopping. We're getting some probation talk. Leanne's an interesting character for me, because I feel like Leanne is in this weird middle ground. She's definitely more traditional as far as the church goes. She's definitely a little bit of the tough love. Like, she doesn't like to put up with Taylor's shit, and she lets her know about it. But at the same time, when it gets to a breaking point, she always turns into mom.
Yeah.
Like, in this car ride as they're talking, she's just talking about her decisions, and, Dakota's talking about marriage a lot, and she's filmed leaving the jail. She's self-sabotaging. This is all Taylor doing things, and she's breaking everything down. And her mom's not all that receptive. She's more in the camp of, you did this to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Until the breakdown happens, and immediately she's like, okay, hold on. I don't want to see you like this. So it's this weird balancing act of my faith, but I'm a mom. And it's just, I think she seems like she has the right intentions. It's just interesting to watch the duality of Leanne.
Yeah, and I imagine that this probably resonates with a lot of Mormon mothers.
I would imagine.
Because of their role in the church, their role in their families. And she's struggling with it. I mean, I like it when she gives her the tough love, because she's like, you are ruining my life, Taylor. Like, what the hell? Every word out of your mouth is like, come on, what are you doing? So I get it. I understand where Leanne's coming from. I like Leanne a lot. I like that she takes a little bit of charge here, and she kind of puts Taylor in her place.
Yeah.
Not that it really helps, because Taylor's going to do what Taylor's going to do.
As she has done. But, she is at this seemingly pivotal point in her life where she's, I don't know, I think she's ready to try to get her shit together for her kid. I think she's trying to do the best she can from what outside looking in. And I'm only through episode 3, so this could take a very, very crazy turn. I'm doing 2.
I hope it does.
Doing 2 a day.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at right now. 2 a day, which doesn't add up.
That doesn't make any sense, yeah.
Because I only watched one today, because we're only doing 2 episodes to record today.
Yeah, it's probably better if we don't watch ahead of time.
I think it's going to mess up our recap.
Because I'm already messed up.
Yeah, so we need to be like no more than one ahead of what we're going to record. That's my new plan. All right,
Praise
cool.
the notebook.
Good talk. Praise the notebook. But we move on to the MomTok crew. They're all together, everyone minus Taylor once again, and they're talking about, and this is the stuff that really fascinates me with this whole setup and what they've done with this TikTok channel is the finances of it. Because they all get their own brand deals. They also get group brand deals. You know, they mentioned in episode 3, they were invited to a house to film content, stuff like that. But they're all, how they make their money is brand deal to brand deal, pretty much. And we get to find out about all of it. And then Whitney, and this is the hypocrisy part of it, because Whitney wants to be the devout one. She's holier than thou. Again, you get way more of that in the 3rd episode of her really leaning into the church aspect of everything. But she wants to be a quote-unquote good Mormon, and she's presented with an opportunity to sign a brand deal with a Vibrator company, which doesn't seem that damning to me. I don't know. It would be so fucking funny to me to have, or to be a fly on the wall of a conversation with, like, people in the Mormon church, the actual Mormon leaders.
Yeah.
Like, let's figure out if this is cool or not, and talking about vibrators. But it's a $20,000 brand deal. So in my brain, you're damn right I'm going to rationalize and figure out how this is holy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know. I mean, can you make that argument? Like, can Whitney, not you and me, because you and me would be like, yeah, fuck, who cares? Like, yeah, you can still believe in God and use a vibrator. It's not crazy. But in like, the way that she's carried herself, and obviously hindsight because we've seen extra episodes, but do you think that this goes against a lot of the things that she's been preaching?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's entirely hypocritical, but you can watch this in real time as she tries to rationalize it. She talks about this is going to be good for the women that follow us that are going to resonate with this, and it's going to show empowerment. It's going to show that you can do this on your own. It's going to do this and that. Everything that she was coming up with, I'm like, yeah, technically, but that's not what you're preaching about.
That's not your brand.
That's not what you're about. Yeah, exactly. That's not your brand. And you want to be a fly on the wall in the Mormon church talking about this. I want to be a fly on the wall in the board meeting for the Vibrator company.
Oh, yeah.
Let's target the Mormon girls. We'll see if we can get into that. That's an untapped market.
It's probably not that crazy considering they probably found out. I would imagine the Vibrator company caught on after the swinging scandal.
Yes.
And so they're probably like,
and it's funny. It's even funnier that she doesn't put the two of those together.
Like, hey, maybe bad idea, sex toy after a swinging scandal.
Yeah, but it's $20,000. And I'm the breadwinner.
You don't have to convince
me. I know. I'm telling you. I'm saying that's what Whitney's thinking. That's the only thing is like she is spinning this in like an empowerment way, but it fully goes against the church and all of the things that she's been like standing up against. And even more so in the 3rd episode when we talk about the Fruity Pebbles incident.
Oh my God.
So you're going to go ahead and endorse a vibrator, but you are going to give Demi shit for that.
Oh, don't get me started.
So like
that whole scene.
She's just constantly contradicting herself. And again, I understand why it's $20,000 and you want it, but you got to kind of figure it out. And that's what she's doing on the fly. And it's like, yeah, no.
It's not a good look.
Nope.
It's not a good look at all. Just, again, the hypocrisy. But
yeah, especially going after Taylor, too.
Yes. You know, it's just whatever. But we get to meet 2 of the other Mormon wives, Layla, who is married and divorced at 22 with 2 children. We get to meet Ben Affleck's cousin-in-law.
Second
cousin-in-law. Jen Affleck, which is like too perfect.
Yeah.
Ben and Jen Affleck.
Well, I love that they showed Jennifer Lopez. What about Jennifer Gardner?
Oh, yeah. Ben and Jen. Remember them?
Yeah.
Yeah. What could have been, you know? Instead of getting remarried to Jennifer Lopez again and then getting divorced again. That's a different podcast for a different day.
Yes, it is.
But Jen Affleck, cousin-in-law, conservative Mormon, super comfortable with her sexuality. Again, this is where the lines get blurred for me. I don't really understand. Not saying you can't be comfortable with your sexuality and be a Mormon.
But when you say it explicitly,
that's what I'm saying.
In your first confessional,
right,
we're going to start thinking about it.
Right. And this is all leading to the confusion for me of I understand the premise of MomTok of what they all want out of this, what they're getting out of this. It's a chance for them to separate themselves from the traditional Mormon role. Great. It's a chance to express themselves by dancing, by reaching out to the audience, by feeling more themselves and in control of their lives. Great. By talking about certain things such as their sexuality. Great. I'm all for it. I think it's awesome. At the same time, it's very confusing when you're going to be this open about your sexuality and say that's not a problem. Fine. But then you don't invite certain girls to your baby shower in the next episode because they do too much of that stuff. Meanwhile, Whitney will not put up with any of it, but is selling vibrators.
Yep.
So it's like, you got to pick a lane here. You can't be holier than thou when it's your shit, but when it's other people's shit, now they're heathens. That doesn't track for me, and I don't care for that.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the theme of the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. At this, like, for example, they have no issue in this scene of Demi showing them her nudes that she sent to her husband. By the way, they like flashed one of them, and it legit looks like she's going to a fucking like beauty pageant.
That's what I thought
This
too.
has got to be how Mormons send nudes. It's like, hold on, let me put my tiara on.
Yeah, let's get back to Connor sending nudes on Tinder.
Oh,
What was that about?
I
Banana
don't know.
hammock?
But definitely.
He's a never nude.
He's a what?
A never nude.
A never nude.
Yeah, Arrested Development. Even...
Oh, I haven't seen that in forever.
Oh,
And is that the newer season? I haven't even watched
No,
the
it's
newer
Tobias, where he's always wearing his jean shorts.
ones. Oh, okay. I know. I don't think I've seen that since college.
Oh.
Yeah, and as you know,
Rewatch.
I drank my memory away. That's the best thing about rewatches for me because I drank
You don't
myself
remember anything?
stupid. I don't remember anything, so I can rewatch shows that I loved and not remember any of it.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a problem there
Good
somewhere.
life.
Nah. It's probably not great.
If it keeps happening, it's like the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, selective amnesia.
Yeah.
Great. Love it. Anywho, Taylor and her dad and her mom are shooting the shit at Taylor's house. And initially, and Dev talked me through it, and she was right. She usually is. Initially, I didn't like the dad. I mean, this guy's an asshole. Like, I don't like his energy, don't like his vibe. When she explained, she's like, dude, what if this was Poppy? I was like, get it. I get it immediately. Say no more.
Yeah, he's the father of a problem child.
Yeah, and Dakota, the boyfriend's moving in, and so like there's a lot of issues there. Taylor's excited about it. Leanne's not supportive at all, and this is where you get the tough love in the Mormon mom, where she's like, "Would you rather I do it alone?" She's like, "Yeah, this is your choice. You did this to yourself." I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
shit!"
And I also don't want you to get married to him.
Yeah. Or at least get married first. Like, don't move them in here. And this is where it's a struggle. But it's interesting for people like us that are not in this religion or in a very devout religion for that matter, where we hear they're moving in together before marriage. And you're like, yeah, that's the logical next step. That's what you're supposed to do to see if you can live together before you get married.
Yeah, but on your own, maybe not with your parents.
Wait. No. Her parents were at her house. He's not moving. No. He's not moving into...
I don't know about that.
I do.
I took it as that's their house.
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Be positive.
Confidently saying yes. Dakota's moving into her house. If they would have a lot more to say if Dakota was moving into their house. Because that's the other thing. Here you go. When Dakota gets there, he's like, wait, your parents are here? And she's like, yeah. He's like, right now? He's just like, yeah. Context clues, my boy.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess because I just assumed after their little sprinkle of domestic violence in there that they shouldn't be living alone together.
Well, no, but that was at Taylor's house when all that happened. That wasn't
Yeah, but then
Dakota's
I
house.
just assumed that she moved back home after that whole fiasco.
Why?
I don't know. Made
She's
sense
rich.
to
She
me.
got MomTok money. Don't forget.
The MomTok money's not coming in anymore to her.
I would imagine there's a lot of MomTok money. And maybe we should be Mormons because all these fuckers are rich.
Well,
Every Mormon that
you look
you've
at
seen,
Zach's family, and Zach's family's just like surgeon.
Zach's,
He's a douchebag.
okay, Zach's family and Zach, period. I got a lot of qualms.
I don't know about the family.
Okay, Zach Targaryen needs to be studied.
Yeah.
Okay, he's Aegon. He literally looks like Aegon. It's the same hairstyle, the blonde eyebrows, all of it. So we'll talk about him later. We keep getting crossed up here, but the bottom line is parents are concerned. Do they have a right to be?
Yes.
Absolutely. And is this another moment where it's like, Taylor, do yourself a favor? Let's make some logical decisions here. Let's look at our life. I know you're trying your best. I know you're pregnant and you're scared. You don't want to do it alone. That's understandable. That's very reasonable. Big picture here. You and this guy got in a blowout 6 months ago that ended in an arrest. Okay? Also, your closest friend, Macy, doesn't fuck with the guy and tells you. She's very open about it, which I love about Macy. I love that she's very like cut and dry. I have a feeling, given the current dynamic in episode 3 of where everyone stands, that might get a little rocky because she's more with the mean girls, the saints, if you will.
Yep.
So I'm curious to see if there's a breakdown in that relationship. But when Dakota arrives, the dad, it did pick up for me there. And I was like, this is funny because he's like, first you knock up my daughter. I'm like, hell yeah, get him.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't give him.
He shows up with like 4 boxes.
And a guitar.
Yeah.
Of course
Dakota
he
has
plays guitar. Why wouldn't Dakota have a guitar?
Jake Gyllenhaal, man.
He's not. He looks not like that was the worst comparison I've ever heard. Jake Gyllenhaal? If he looks like Jake Gyllenhaal, then I look like Brad Pitt.
This dude's like, I hit the lottery, man.
Oh, 100%.
I just slipped into this girl's DMs. I'm a recovering addict. I don't know where my life is going right now. MomTok.
MomTok.
Yeah.
I'm going to latch my wagon onto this because this is great. And that's what it does seem like. I don't know what he does. We don't know what his job is.
He might not have one.
Quite possibly not. But Taylor's depiction or where she's focused on right now is changing her priorities, which I appreciate. So she's doing, I don't want to say she's doing her best. She's trying her best.
She's trying.
And she wants to get more involved with the church again. She's really trying to shift her focus. I don't know if it's the baby, the arrest, maybe all the above, but she's making an effort. So I don't want to falter there. Does she still need somebody clearly telling her what to do? Yeah, probably. Mom, Leanne, I'm sure tries. It falls on deaf ears, but I appreciate Leanne trying. But it's funny. I mean, you get the actual breakdown when they go outside to get the boxes, and Leanne and Dad are sitting there like, "What do we do?" He's like, "I don't fucking know." She doesn't listen anyway. Like we're fucked, Leanne.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty much the breakdown there. And I love when he is bringing in his 4 boxes. He goes, "Well, I've got more stuff."
Yeah, do you?
They're like, "Do you even have a couch? Like, what do you
He has
do?"
no furniture.
He's like, "No."
No, why would I get a couch? I had one. I left it there because she's got a schwanky ass couch.
Yeah, exactly.
That bitch is from West Elm. Look at that thing. Comfy as hell. That's a Pottery Barn cloud. But moving on, we get Taylor and Macy in their baby shower shopping. And Macy, again, this is why I like her, because as the group kind of not fell apart, but as they turned away from Taylor, she was one of the few that's like, I actually felt bad. You know, you were getting kind of shunned by everybody. I wanted to check in and make sure that you're supported.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you got to give me something, sister, because Macy's trying, but she never confides in her being Taylor. She never tells her what's going on. And this is where you start to learn more about the Dakota stuff. And you pegged it from the jump. You said, this guy gives me the heebie-jeebies. I was like, I don't love him either. We get some confirmation here, and it's kind of what we talked about episode 1 with, like, this is clearly a very toxic dynamic between these two. And this is the bread and butter of toxic relationships right here, is when the woman in the relationship does something that's probably innocuous, maybe talks to a guy, or in this case, her ex showed up to a party.
Yep.
That's all. She didn't invite her ex. I don't know if they talked. That's the father of her children, so they might have exchanged words, which is not crazy to think about. Yep. And he goes on the slut shaming. Oh, you slut, whore, this, that. Any dude that does that, if you're dating them and you just talk to somebody and they call you a name like that, that behavior doesn't change. Get the fuck out of there. Okay? To every public service announcement to our listeners, if that has happened to you, he's not gonna get better. Fucking run. So that's as soon as I heard that, I'm like, okay, that's Dakota. So I know exactly who he is. I know guys like that. I hate them. I've seen this kind of shit go down before. So it's understandable. And what Macy is saying over and over again is just highlighting toxic behavior. And she's like, how is it now? It's less toxic. Even Taylor knows it's toxic.
Yep.
She should not be, this is so bad to say, but she should not be allowed to make decisions for a while.
No, definitely not. I think that should have been very cut and dry after the arrest. You would imagine, like I thought, she would have moved home, stayed with her parents,
Maybe
gotten away from Dakota.
Maybe
kick him back to wherever the fuck he came from. Because he didn't come, I don't think he came from Utah.
I don't know.
Who the hell knows? He's a drifter.
He looks
He's
like
definitely a drifter.
He looks like a vagrant to me.
Yeah, he's definitely a vagrant. Yeah, that's absolutely true. So yeah, go home. You figure your life out. You got a lot of shit going on. No, I'm going to get knocked up. No, I'm going to move in with my boyfriend who I just got arrested with. Okay. Yeah. All right. That makes sense.
Oh, here's a great example too, because something that the few haters that jump on those Shannon posts when I'm talking about like recovery and this and that, they love to say, oh, just because they're in recovery, they're a good person. I never said that.
Nope.
Here's a great example.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Dakota still seems like a piece of shit, and he's allegedly sober. And I'm not saying allegedly to like throw shade. I hope he is. But at the same time, we don't know. But at the same time, he's an asshole and sober. So yes, you can still be a piece of shit and be sober. But there you go. There's my counter to all those idiots out there. But this is the most damning part. She tried. She called Macy and said 2 weeks before she got pregnant or announced her pregnancy, she called Macy and said, I need to get out of this relationship. I don't know how. Then she gets pregnant, and that's the next phone call to Macy. Is like, by the way, we're expecting.
Yeah. It's incredible to me that Macy's still hanging around, honestly.
She seems great.
She seems great, but the fact that she's still willing to like try to help Taylor out and tell her all of these things, and you know that Dakota knows what Macy thinks about him.
Yeah.
He just doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Because she probably tells Taylor goes home, she says some things, they get into a huge fight probably, but it's less toxic than it was before.
Yeah.
That's all that really matters.
For now.
Yeah. So the fact that Macy's still hanging around, I'm like, oh, good for her, but she's in for it.
She's a good friend. She's trying, but it's tough to watch, honestly. But the next scene, we get Whitney, and this is where she starts talking to the mom about the Vibrator decision, which it's so funny because her mom's clearly very traditional Mormon as well. It's so funny to listen to this back and forth because, yeah, obviously this is a taboo thing. And the mom even says that, like, yeah, it's very taboo. I don't know. And she brings up some good points. And if Whitney wasn't such a hypocrite, I would be like, all right, this makes sense. She's like, it's about empowering women. Okay, fine. It's about creating more intimacy with your partner. Okay, great. Like, that's an important thing. Sure, if you need a toy, do what you got to do. No kink shaming here. You know that. But this is not your platform. You cannot say this and then in the next episode slut shame people that are doing similar things, but you don't agree with it. So now,
especially after your husband definitely cheated on you.
Right. And let's not forget, your husband fucking cheated on you.
Yeah.
And you're covering up for it, which is not, you didn't even do a good cover up.
No.
Whitney. It's a bad cover up, but this was interesting to me. The mom is considering it, right? I don't know, maybe like it seems a little on the edge. What if you're single? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Fuck no. Because now you're pleasuring yourself, and that's a problem. Like,
that's the devil's deed.
Idle hands should not be placed on vibrators. Everybody knows this. God damn it. So no, if you were single.
It's okay with it because you're married.
Yeah, that's it.
That's really all it is.
That's it. And then like it comes in, like I guess she had penis cookies at her baby shower, which that was wild to
I thought
me.
it was bachelorette.
I heard baby shower. Bachelorette makes way more sense.
Yeah, I think it was bachelorette.
Baby shower.
Yeah, no, I think it was bachelorette.
I hope so, because I'm like, who the fuck's got penis cookies at a baby shower?
Although,
and
I don't know.
Call yourself devout?
In episode 3, we get Galentine's, and it's like, oh, I thought this was basically like a bachelorette
That
party.
was bullshit.
Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you fucking no, dude, that was mean.
Will she have a boy at the baby shower?
Actually, that would be kind of funny. If that's how you would now like a gender reveal and it's just penis cookies. Yo, that's actually kind of funny.
Penis cookies or boob cookies?
That's really funny.
Yeah.
That's really funny. I kind of hope they did that now.
Yep.
I kind of hope there was penis cookies there. But I think the underlying thing that was like the most interesting thing to me is the teachings of sex in this religion is like, no, sex is awful. It's bad. Do not do it. You're married, you're Mormon, now you have to have sex all the time and have as many kids as you can. What do you mean you don't know how to do it? No, we're not going to tell you. Go figure it out. Yeah. Oh, it's awkward
Trial
and uncomfortable.
and error.
You don't like it? Yeah, that's sex.
Yeah, she's talking about her wedding night and how weird it was.
She said it was a horror movie and then quickly changes
like, well,
to,
maybe it was a comedy. It was a horror comedy. Yeah, I don't know. We didn't know what we were doing. I guarantee you that Connor knew what he was doing.
Connor knew what he was doing. He'd been on Tinder for a while before that. But We keep trucking. We get Dakota and Taylor, and they're talking about the baby shower. And this is where we get the first inkling of like the Macy shit, where Dakota's clearly like, nah.
Yeah.
Like, she's still talking shit about me. It's like, no, you're still doing shit. So she's still commenting on it.
Yeah.
Bruh. And he calls her petty, all this other shit. But the biggest concern is that she's on the outs. She doesn't want to be on the outs. She's concerned about the baby shower. She wants everyone to come together. She's, again, trying to reconnect this group. And I do think that she still holds the title of leader if she's able to get the group back together and show them that she's getting better, and also probably when she's not pregnant, just because she seems to be not having as much time right now.
Yeah, I think it was way less like the group is fractured. How many times have we heard the group is fractured, it's divided, whatever. It's really just the Taylor's on the outs.
Yeah, it seems to be.
In episode 3, the group is definitely fractured. But in episode 2, everybody's still getting along, and then there's Taylor on the outsides.
And she's on the outs because Whitney wants her on the outs. Like,
Yeah.
the other girls have mentioned multiple times, like, I just kind of want everyone to get along. Like, it doesn't have to be this fucking deep, guys. Let's just make some goddamn money and do our thing on TikTok. But there's a power struggle. It's a power struggle.
We love a good power struggle.
Absolutely. It's making for great TV, but this is the first, and like, we knew it, you seen it. We synced it happening in the first episode and a half now. Whitney's starting to show her true colors more and more, and this is where you really see the mask come off, I think. And she's talking to Layla about the baby shower, and she's like, we're not real life friends. Like, she won't even care if I go there. And this is what she does. She puts the emphasis on other people. She makes them the villain, or she makes them, she speaks for other people. She knows what's going on. She's not going to know. She won't even notice that I'm there. Again, it's victim mentality. She's like, I got to walk on eggshells when I'm around her. Like, look how she fucked up all her friends. And it sucks that it's allowed to happen. Like, I don't know what she's taking so personally.
I think it's very clear. I think she was involved in the swinging.
You think that's what it is?
And she's worried that that's going to come up, yeah.
And so she's just trying to bury Taylor?
She's just trying to bury Taylor as much as possible. She also wants that leadership spot. And she realizes that if she goes to Taylor's baby shower, there's going to be pictures taken, there's going to be all this stuff, and then all of a sudden it's Taylor's party, and I'm just another person there.
Yeah.
I'm just part of MomTok. But if I don't go, I'm important enough where people are going to start talking about me at Taylor's party. That makes me the leader.
That's a great call.
That's exactly what she's doing. And while she's doing this, her fucking kids are just running rampant all around.
Turning fucking the thermostat up and down.
Where were they, by the way? The sauna, it looked like? What the hell was that place?
It's Utah, man.
Yeah.
They got those big-ass houses with weird rooms in them.
Yeah, I guess that's probably what it was. But yeah, her kids are just running around, not doing
They're touching
anything
the
they're told.
thermostat.
Touching the thermostat. Just getting after
Absolutely
it.
not.
Absolutely not. My house.
In this economy?
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
No chance.
No way.
Absolutely
A
not.
lockbox on it.
But I like that Layla's just trying to get through to her. Like, yeah, it would be nice if everybody could get back together. Whitney's like, no, my mind's already made up. There's no reason, but it's Taylor's fault. But I'm not going.
Yeah. It makes no sense.
Yeah,
and
sure, Whitney.
I'm glad Layla is the most reasonable voice of reason. Most reasonable voice of reason. Wow, there's a
How
saying
about that?
for you.
Yeah.
But she is, because I think Macy is fairly reasonable. I think that some of the other non-leaders, quote unquote, of this group, like, everyone seems to have a decent head on their shoulders that's not involved in the power struggle. Layla's the most down to earth, I think, because she's very just like,
I think Layla's been through it. She's
Layla's
fucking
been through
22,
it.
2 kids and divorced.
Yeah.
Jesus, Layla.
Yeah. She's 22 going on 45.
Yeah.
Like, she's got a good perspective of life, I think. So I think
would hope
that
so,
the way
yeah.
that she discusses things makes a lot of sense. She's like, MomTok was started because of support. It's all about support. We need to support one another. And Whitney's just mad because Taylor's seen as the queen bee in the TikToks.
I think the money's the real devil.
Yeah. That's the
It
problem.
started as a nice group of people just having fun, making TikToks.
And you get them brand deals.
Start to get that money in, everything goes to shit.
Yep. Only at the head, though.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of them just want to keep doing their thing and make their money and fucking go home.
They just want stability.
The stability.
You could see that in the first scene when they're talking about the MomTok needs a new leader.
Yeah.
Why did no one step up?
Because they don't want to deal with Whitney, probably. Like, honestly.
I know, but it would have been really funny if somebody just like stood up like, you know what, I'll help you guys. I'll be the leader.
But in this moment, Whitney, like, she highlights all of the reasons that Taylor has been detrimental to MomTok. She's like, her affair, the arrest, the scandal. Okay, Whitney, hold on. let's start with the first
You've got
one.
2 of those.
Boom. That's all I'm saying. Let's start with the fucking first
Yeah.
one, okay? The affair. Maybe don't throw stones. I know you didn't allegedly cheat, but let's talk about your man for a second, who had a Tinder for 3 years. Quote unquote Tinder, by the way, according to some of our commenters. Could have been something else. But regardless, you have no leg to stand on there because you are in a relationship where the same thing has occurred. So shut the fuck up about that. The arrest, you really want to bring that into it? She just got slapped with a domestic violence charge, which is a very serious offense. She did her time. She's doing her probation for 3 years. I don't think that's very Mormon or Christian of you to sit there and judge somebody going through that. Wouldn't you think you're supposed to pick her up and help her out in that moment? And then the last thing is the scandal. That's the only one where I'm like, all right, fine. You could be upset about that, except for the fact that 6 months ago, you went to a lunch to allegedly squash all of this shit. So you can't still be mad about the scandal and then tack that onto the affair, which your husband's currently having or
Also,
recently had.
As we talked about last night, if you're truly not involved in the scandal, you should be thanking Taylor. You guys all got hundreds of thousands of followers on top of that because people like me found out about this all through a scandal. So, like, you got all these untapped people to follow you, which led to bigger brand deals. You should be thanking Taylor.
I agree. But she goes with the classic, like, narcissist trope of put it on other people. I don't trust her. I don't feel safe around her. Shut the fuck up. What is she going to do to you? Like, are you kidding me? You don't feel
Fucking
safe
7
around
months
her?
pregnant weirdo.
Yeah, bro, relax. Okay, all of your reasonings suck. If you had decent reasons for this, or play the villain. Have you watched reality TV? Just lean into it.
Play the villain, lean into it, and also, if you feel like Taylor's inviting you out and you find out through the grapevine that she's worried about the group being fractured and you want to like get back in her good graces, you could just show up and be nice and you can still be the leader.
Yeah, you can usurp her right now by being nice.
But by alienating her, how many followers are you going to lose?
And you're giving her
power. Play the numbies game.
Giving her power. You do have to play the numbies game. You always got to play them numbies, but you are giving Taylor power by being an asshole to her.
Plus, she's just going to go on TikTok Live. She's gonna start talking shit about you.
You're playing with fire. You really are.
She definitely knows stuff about you.
She's reactive. We've seen it. Don't push her buttons. And she's also, I guess that's a really good point. She's trying to become better, trying to be less reactive, trying to be more holy, all of these good things. She's trying. You've seen what happens when she doesn't want to be that. Do you think that maybe you should lean into this new path that she's on and like support it, even if it's for your own personal gains, to avoid a potential TikTok live? That's what I think. That seems the smartest move to me.
Yep.
But we get to the baby shower and, everybody shows up except for Whitney. And this is where my girl steps up again. Leanne. Fucking Leanne.
I love it. They're all talking about it in the circle. Wait. Whitney didn't come? Oh my God. Whitney told half of you that she wasn't going.
I think they were still surprised.
I know.
I think they're still like, wow, she really didn't come.
Really went through with it. Wow, the ball's on that girl. I love it because you're going around the room. Dakota's laughing. He thinks it's funny that she's not there, but he loves chaos.
Yeah,
clearly.
He's a piece of shit.
He just needs it. Leanne is not there because she's in the hallway giving her a call. Do they, the way that conversation went, you have to imagine that they know each other, right? But,
Whitney was so rude.
Yeah, Whitney was such a bitch.
It's a mom calling you.
Yeah, that's a mom calling you. And by the way, you're a Mormon. You're supposed to be nice to people.
No, only when it serves her can she use that card. But if she's not going to, because then she's going to defend it. Well, I didn't appreciate being ambushed like that over the phone by her mom. And we don't really have that relationship, so I was pretty confused by it. Her mom took the time. You don't have her number, apparently, to get your number, call you, and was also not rude. She just said, hey, where are you? And you're like, I think this is more of a conversation I should have with Taylor and not
You're not having conversations with Taylor. You're avoiding her.
You refuse to talk to her, actually. You're actively not talking to her because you think it gives you some moral high ground because, I don't know if it's you don't want to be associated with her, just your own cheating husband. Like, I'm not sure where she gets the balls to be as much of an asshole as she is. That's the confusing part to me.
Yeah.
I don't know where you got this confidence from, lady, but Jesus Christ, tone it down.
Yeah.
It's way too much. But I love that Leanne called her, and she goes, I noticed you weren't here. What's going on? So Leanne, this is another great moment where it's like she's at a baby shower right now for a child that she didn't think should have happened. But, of course, they're going to support it. She is standing there supporting a man that she does not like in Dakota. She's not loving this whole scene. And still, when push comes to shove, she puts on her mom hat and says, "You're not going to disrespect my daughter like this. Where are you at, Whitney? You big... You know
Pull
what?
up.
You know what? Change that W to an S, shitney. Where are you at?"
Nice. Come on now, pull up.
Come on now. But let's get to some questions, and then we got to get into another episode. So don't you worry. As soon as you finish this one, just roll right on to the next one, because we got 2 of these bad boys.
First off here, not a question, but a little bit of context from Sarah Gill Henry. Comment, not question. The original MomTok people didn't want to do the show. I'm not surprised by that.
I'm not either. So
They were the ones who were probably involved in the swinging.
Okay. So the 4 OGs on this show were 4 of, I wonder how many OGs there were that were swinging. And hold on, Sarah Gill Henry. You don't know if the other ones didn't swing. Because I still think that...
No, she didn't say anything about the swinging. She just said that the original MomTok girls didn't want to do the show.
Oh, so I need to tone it down?
Yeah, tone it down.
I'm sorry, Sarah.
Yeah,
My
talk a little
bad.
softer to Sarah.
I'm sorry, Sarah. My apologies.
From Emma J. Hammond, did you know that Demi's hubby is Angie H's ex from Salt Lake City?
I did.
Yep.
I did. Yeah, that's an interesting crossover for so many reasons. One big one being the age difference between... How old is Demi? Is that the one with the 49-year-old husband? And
Yeah,
she's...
46. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. See, there you go. That tracks. Again, we don't age shame here. You do what you got to do. But yeah, I feel like that's not going to be the first crossover we're going to have. I feel like if this show continues for a few more seasons, there's going to be more Real Housewives of Salt Lake crossings.
You think so?
I do.
Okay.
I really do. Only based on, again, look at Vanderpump Villa, Stassi.
Mhm.
There's a lot of connections. I think it's an easy plug-in.
I hate this question from Lem Vibes.
I love it.
Are you more of a Taylor or a Whitney?
Am I more of a Taylor or a Whitney? So am I either a vindictive, hypocritical asshole, or am I a total train wreck?
Yes.
Let's see. I have been a train wreck in my life, so I'll say I'm Taylor.
I'm Taylor too.
Yeah, I think Taylor's easier for people to resonate with. She just takes it too far. But I'm sure people have had Taylor moments in their lives. Not to those extremes. And you know what? Let's go to the next question.
From LTW238, do they all have hair extensions?
Probably. Doesn't most women? Like, what a question. Is that a dude that asked that?
I don't know.
Who asked that question?
LTW238.
Yeah, I think that's... Who cares? That's a thing we call out hair?
No, it's a girl. Taylor Weeks Lindsay.
I've heard people call out bad hair extensions, but yeah, I think a lot of people have hair extensions. That's not a call out.
I just love that we're being asked that.
Yeah.
Hey, it's 2 straight guys.
Yeah, probably. Like, could we spot them? Fuck no. That's the funniest part. When, like, Dan will be like, "Oh, do you see her extensions or something like that?" I'm like, "No. Am I supposed to?" If I see the clip hanging out, I notice them. But other than that, like, if they're in there, I don't really notice.
Yeah. We'll do one more here because we got to go on the next episode. But from Katie Homehaven, why does Connor have a new hairstyle every episode? It's to get himself further and further away from his high school pictures that are on his Tinder.
Yeah.
Every time you look at him, he's a little different. Nah, that can't be him. He's changed.
That's flawless. No notes. That's exactly what it is. But yeah, we're not even going to dilly-dally. We're going to jump right into our next episode. So bros are out of here.